What would you do if your boss publicly humiliated you for being poor? Have you ever been judged for taking public transportation? Made to feel ashamed simply because you couldn't afford a car? Well, what happened to Olivia Reed will restore your faith in karma and prove that success is the sweetest revenge of all. For years, she cleaned the floors of a prestigious tech company in downtown Chicago. Every morning, she took the bus and train to work while executives drove past in their luxury cars. To them, she was invisible, just another cleaner emptying their trash and mopping their floors. But here's the twist nobody saw coming. The woman they mocked for taking public transit just walked into their boardroom as the new owner of their entire company. And her revenge was absolutely perfect. If you've ever been underestimated because of your job, your income, or how you get to work, this story is for you. Hit that like button right now, because what Olivia accomplished will blow your mind. It started with one cruel comment from CEO Douglas Pierce that changed everything. He had no idea that his cleaner was about to become his boss. Olivia Reed's day started at 4:30 a.m. every morning. Bus to the train station, train downtown, then a short walk to the gleaming tech tower where she spent her days making other people's workspace spotless. While executives complained about traffic from their leather seats, Olivia read business magazines on crowded public transit. Studying the very industry she cleaned up after, she was invisible to most of the staff. They walked past her like she was part of the furniture, another tool to keep their world running smoothly. But Olivia watched everything. Board meetings through glass doors, conversations about deals and strategies, financial reports left carelessly on desks. She absorbed it all while emptying their trash. Douglas Pierce was different, though. The CEO millionaire didn't just ignore her. He actively looked down on her. Designer suits that cost more than Olivia made in 6 months. A different luxury car every week. Country club stories that dripped with privilege and entitlement. He treated wealth like a scoreboard, and everyone else was losing. The moment that changed everything happened on a Tuesday evening. Olivia finished her shift and headed to the bus stop, still in her work uniform. Douglas exited the building with 3 colleagues and 2 potential clients, important people he wanted to impress. That's when he spotted her. Still taking public transit, Olivia? His voice carried that familiar tone of superiority. Guess some people will never rise above their station. His colleagues laughed nervously. The clients looked uncomfortable. But Douglas wasn't finished showing off. Maybe if you work harder, you could afford a car like normal people. The words hit Olivia like physical blows. Not just the cruelty, but the public nature of it. The assumption that her worth could be measured by her transportation method. The racist undertone that she wasn't trying hard enough. But here's what Douglas didn't see. The fire that ignited behind Olivia's quiet dignity. She didn't respond, didn't defend herself. Just waited for her bus with her head held high. We've all witnessed workplace bullies like Douglas. Comment below if you've seen someone use their position to tear others down instead of lifting them up. That night, Olivia sat at her kitchen table with Douglas's words echoing in her mind. Some people will never rise above their station. The humiliation burned, but something else burned brighter. Determination. She opened her laptop and enrolled in online business courses using money she'd been saving for months. Marketing fundamentals, financial planning, franchise operations. If Douglas thought she wasn't capable of more, she'd prove him spectacularly wrong. The routine became relentless. Clean offices all day, study all night. While Douglas slept in his mansion, Olivia devoured everything about business strategy and investment. She turned lunch breaks into networking sessions with other service workers who had entrepreneurial dreams. Her first move was small but strategic, a residential cleaning service targeting busy professionals. 3 clients became 6. 6 became 15. Every dollar earned went straight back into expansion and education. The beautiful irony? Douglas's own company became her unofficial business school. As she cleaned conference rooms, she overheard merger discussions, supply chain problems, market analysis. Information that MBA students paid thousands to learn, she absorbed for free while emptying wastebaskets. Within 18 months, Olivia had purchased her first franchise, a small cleaning company with 12 employees. Then came office supply distribution. Commercial property management followed, each venture carefully chosen to serve the exact markets Douglas's company depended on. She was building an empire while he remained completely oblivious to her transformation. The best part? She still took public transit to her cleaning job every morning. Douglas occasionally saw her at the bus stop and smirked, never knowing that the woman he'd mocked was becoming his competition. Olivia turned pain into purpose. Share this if you believe in the power of quiet determination over loud arrogance. While Douglas counted his existing millions, Olivia was earning her first. 5 years after that humiliating bus stop encounter, Olivia owned 17 different franchise operations: cleaning services, office supplies, commercial real estate, facility management, an interconnected web of businesses that served the exact market Douglas's tech company operated in. Her net worth had quietly climbed past the $1 million mark. The most powerful part? She was still cleaning his offices 3 nights a week. Every Tuesday, Olivia mopped the floors of the executive conference room, where Douglas held his board meetings. She heard everything: the company's mounting financial struggles, failed product launches, key clients jumping to competitors. Information worth millions to the right person. Douglas's arrogance had blinded him to market changes his company couldn't adapt to. Remote work was crushing their commercial real estate investments. Supply chain disruptions were devastating their operations. Stock prices had dropped 40% in 2 years. Meanwhile, Olivia's businesses thrived in those exact sectors. Her cleaning services specialized in sanitizing remote workspaces. Her supply company offered flexible, just-in-time delivery. Her real estate portfolio focused on mixed-use properties that adapted to changing work patterns. She wasn't just succeeding. She was succeeding by solving the problems Douglas couldn't. The intelligence advantage was incredible. While Douglas paid consultants hundreds of thousands for market analysis, Olivia gathered the same information by listening through conference room doors. She knew which clients were unhappy months before they canceled contracts. She understood their supply chain weaknesses better than their own logistics team. Her lawyer called on a Thursday morning with the opportunity she'd been waiting for. Douglas's company was hemorrhaging money, desperate for an acquisition offer that could save them from bankruptcy. The board was pressuring him to consider any reasonable proposal. "There's a company interested in buying them out," her lawyer explained. "The preliminary numbers look good for a full acquisition. Should we move forward?" Olivia smiled, remembering that bus stop humiliation from 5 years ago. "Schedule a meeting, but don't tell them who the buyer is until I walk into that boardroom." The tables were about to turn in the most dramatic way possible. You won't believe what happens when Douglas finally realizes who's been building an empire while he was losing his. The woman he thought would never rise above her station was about to become his boss. The boardroom was packed with desperate executives when Olivia's lawyers arrived. Douglas sat at the head of the table, trying to project confidence while his company teetered on the edge of bankruptcy. The acquisition offer was generous, almost too good to be true. "This proposal is impressive," Douglas said, reviewing the financial documents. "Your client clearly understands our market. Who exactly are we dealing with?" The lead attorney smiled professionally. "She prefers to introduce herself personally. She should be arriving any moment." Douglas straightened his tie, assuming he was about to meet another tech executive or investment firm representative. The boardroom door opened. Olivia Reed walked in wearing a perfectly tailored business suit, carrying herself with the quiet confidence of someone who'd earned every dollar of her success. The color drained from Douglas's face. "Good morning, Mr. Pierce," Olivia said calmly, taking the seat directly across from him. "I believe you once told me that some people will never rise above their station." The boardroom fell into stunned silence. Board members looked confused. Douglas's mouth opened and closed like a fish gasping for air. "You remember me, don't you? The cleaner who took public transit? The one who wasn't working hard enough to afford a car like normal people?" Olivia opened her briefcase and placed her business portfolio on the table. 17 successful companies. Assets worth over $50 million. A acquisition offer that could save Douglas's failing empire. "I've been listening to your board meetings for 5 years," she continued with perfect composure. Cleaning your conference room while you discuss problems my companies have already solved. The irony is beautiful, isn't it? Douglas finally found his voice, barely above a whisper. This is impossible. What's impossible, Douglas? That the woman you mocked for taking the bus now owns the businesses you depend on? Or that your cleaner just became the person who decides whether your company survives? The power shift was complete. The woman he dismissed as beneath his notice now held his entire future in her hands. The acquisition went through unanimously. Douglas's board members, desperate to save their company, approved Olivia's generous offer without hesitation. Within 30 days, the woman who once cleaned their floors became their boss. But here's what made Olivia's revenge truly perfect. She didn't destroy Douglas or humiliate him publicly. Instead, she implemented policies that treated every employee with dignity and respect, regardless of their position. The toxic culture that allowed his cruelty was replaced with something completely different. Douglas learned what powerlessness felt like. Olivia learned that true leadership meant lifting others up, not tearing them down. 6 months later, employee satisfaction scores hit company records. Productivity soared. The business that was failing under Douglas's arrogance thrived under Olivia's respectful leadership. Her story became legendary in Chicago's business community. Success revenge, the idea that the best response to cruelty is achievement, not destruction. Olivia now speaks at universities and conferences, inspiring thousands who've been underestimated because of their circumstances. The woman who was mocked for taking public transit now owns the building where that bus stop sits. Never underestimate someone based on how they get to work, what they wear, or what job they currently hold. Today's cleaner might be tomorrow's CEO. Today's bus rider might be tomorrow's business owner. If Olivia's incredible transformation inspired you, smash that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Share this story with someone who needs to remember that their current situation is not their final destination. And always remember, treat everyone with respect, because you never know who might be your boss someday.